Hello, this is Dr. Hank Liers, President and Formulator for Health Products Distributors. And today I want to discuss an updated product with you. But before I do, I just wanted to let you know a little bit about my design philosophies and how I got into doing what I'm doing. Back in 1984, when my wife became severely chemically sensitive and no doctor could help her, I decided I would be her doctor. And what that meant is I started doing research on health and supplementation and everything I could find that helped to define health and how to be healthier. And I've spent many years ever since then doing research constantly, coming from being a nuclear physicist to a nuclear nutritionist. And so when I've kind of took those steps, I have started applying, my scientific understandings and my scientific approach. And for me, doing the best I possibly could was always important. And so when I got into doing nutritional supplements, the highest quality ingredients and how they were put together always was foremost in my mind. And to this day, it's the same way. When I formulate a new product, I treat it as a very personal, intensive, personal project. And I want it to be the best I can do so that it can help my wife and everybody who buys my products. And that's what makes me happy. So what I would like to talk about today is our updated Ultimate Protector product. It was actually in 2012 that the concept of an Ultimate Protector product came to me when I first learned about Nrf2 activators. And I had the concept of incorporating three separate formulas in one that would give us the ultimate free radical protection formula. And so what those three parts are is one, and things I have designed historically over and over, was a vitamin C product, because vitamin C is so crucial in so many ways to act as a free radical protector. And it is one of the few ingredients that we know that actually will trap virtually every free radical that we know that exists. And so just a vitamin C product by itself is wonderful. But then, based on my historical studies and very deep research, I understood that vitamin C and plant polyphenols is how they appear in nature. And they work together in some beautiful ways. And so combining vitamin C with plant polyphenols, or as people historically were saying, antioxidants, like grape extract and green tea extract and turmeric and those kind of things, gives you another avenue besides the vitamin C, because those plant polyphenols tend to be high quality antioxidants, and this has been known historically for a long time. So we had two parts. The third part was to bring in this new understanding of Nrf2 activators. And Nrf2 activators brought a whole new concept into this issue of free radical prevention. And what that concept is that certain plant ingredients, when they're absorbed in the body, cause the body to release a chemical that's in every cell of your body, called Nrf2, which migrates into your nucleus of your cells and works at a genetic level to produce antioxidant enzymes. So this is beautiful. Now you have external enzyme protection, and you have endogenous or internal production of antioxidants and free radical protection. So combining the three of those in one product would give you a very complete approach to dealing with free radicals. So more recently, I've decided that I would update Ultimate Protector because of the availability of more advanced materials, and also because there's a lot more research studies that have been done that to help us to understand, what should the best materials to use and how they might interact and what their values are. One of the things I've seen over and over again, many plant polyphenols actually have Nrf2 activity and antioxidant activity, much more so than thought in the olden days. But when you look at any specific ingredient, like something from apple or a mangosteen or something of sort, there could be hundreds of chemicals in those that in the plant polyphenol family that are actually having effects from an antioxidant point of view on the body. So it's kind of really quite a wonderful understanding to have. So at any rate, when I updated this product, I did leave vitamin C in the same amounts, non-GMO, USP grade vitamin C, just because vitamin C is such a crucial antioxidant and works with other ingredients, and in some ways uniquely, that nothing else can do but what vitamin C can do. So we left 1,500 milligrams per serving of ascorbic acid in the product. And so I would then looked at the ORAC part of it, or the antioxidant part of polyphenols, and the way that a lot of people are looking at antioxidants today, or over even the last 5 years, is using what's called a measure called ORAC. The original ORAC only measured the effectiveness against one free radical that might appear in the body. But a number of years ago, Brunswick Labs came up with something called ORAC 5.0, where they actually measured the effectiveness of any specific ingredient against all 5 common free radicals that would be in the body. So, and there's been a lot of measurements of ORAC 5.0, and I've published tables about this. And the ingredients that are very powerful ORAC 5.0, that is in terms of dealing with all of the different types of free radicals, include things like green tea extract and grape extract and curcumin and resveratrol, bilberry, things of that sort. And so those are the things that you definitely want to have in your product. And you have a lot of choices, but those are the ones that when you look at the data and how they react against all 5 free radicals, they're the most powerful ones. They deal with more than one type. Not everything does. And some of them are better in some ways and some are better in other ways. And this is where the value of putting multiple antioxidants or high ORAC products in their ingredients is because you get a much broader range of action. And so that was kind of in making a few changes. Before we didn't have green tea extract specifically. We now do at a good level. The same was true with whole grape extract, and now we have it at a very high level. And so these are a few of the changes that we made, kind of trading off some of the volume of ingredients for a few in number at higher um, amounts that were the most effective ORAC 5.0 ingredients that we know of. So that played some role in how I was updating my product. So now I want to talk a little bit about the more recent activity regarding Nrf2 activators. And what we're seeing in the research studies now that many polyphenols and plant ingredients and anthocyanidins and have Nrf2 activity, sometimes called Nrf2 activity. And so, you have a very wide range of materials you can choose from. And I may have mentioned before, these Nrf2 activators, when they're released by a pro-oxidant in the body, they actually migrate to the nucleus of the cell and then genetically cause the transcription of things such as superoxide dismutase, catalase, glutathione, transferase, which are all critical antioxidants for the body and will produce more glutathione, for example, or trap more free radicals and really have a major effect on the body. So, we're actually looking now at having a broader range of Nrf2 activators. And there's been a lot more research. So there are other ingredients that we now know are really powerful Nrf2 activators. For example, mangosteen and cranberry and pomegranate, chokeberry, goji berries, blueberries. And so what in selecting ingredients here, we've tried to use a nice range, a wide array, but those that have clearly shown very beneficial effects from a genetic point of view, making these endogenous antioxidants. So the other interesting thing about that, and I may have mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again, that we're seeing pretty much high antioxidants as measured by ORAC or what other means that people measure antioxidants historically. And Nrf2 activators are very common. In other words, you may have a high ORAC value, but then they'll be very powerful Nrf2 activators. And again, I believe this has to do with that antioxidant giving up an electron to do its work. And once it gives up that electron, it becomes a weak pro-oxidant, which is what you need to stimulate Nrf2. So it's kind of they're complementary. So, when I was selecting Nrf2 activators, that many of them are high ORAC, high antioxidant products as well. And so it's just kind of a beautiful overlap in the process when you're including these things in the product. So now I would just like to tell you what the final product contains and maybe a little more insight into how it's working. So in the final Ultimate Protector Plus, the upgraded product, we do have, as mentioned, 1,500 milligrams of USP grade, non-GMO ascorbic acid. So that's one major ingredient that we've been talking about. The second part is we have included in the product something called standardized fruit blend from Ethical Nutrients. And that standardized fruit blend has, I believe it's 9 ingredients. And they're all extracts from various different fruits. that have been shown to have very powerful antioxidant effects and Nrf2 effects. And they include things like apple, bilberry, blueberry, cranberry, goji berry, pomegranate, mangosteen. When you go on our website and you look at the blog articles we have actually very detailed blog articles for each of those ingredients, that if you want to go and see what the research is that is showing how effective they are as antioxidants. But then we've also, as I've mentioned, included things. Green tea extract wasn't in the previous one at a good level. Whole grape extract, which is in that standardized fruit blend, but we've taken it out. It's a product called VinCare whole grape extract, and we've included good amounts of that. As in previous Ultimate Protector, we have high levels of curcumin, which is derived from turmeric, and resveratrol, derived from the giant knotwork plant, herb. And so that's kind of the antioxidant Nrf2 component that are working together so beautifully. Well, there's a couple other things that we put in there. One is calcium malate and magnesium malate. And the reason for those is malates really stimulate ATP production in the body. And anytime you have genetic effects and things happening in the body, you need ATP. And so my experience with that historically, for example, in our Myomag product, that when you can actually help to make significantly more amounts of ATP, but also things like magnesium are used in enzymes. And since we're doing a lot of genetic work here, the magnesium really helps with the enzyme production. So it kind of adds a dimension to the product that we haven't mentioned before. And then finally, I just want to mention that we have something called bioperin in there. Bioperin was in the previous product. It's a black pepper extract. And it's been shown that bioperin enhances absorption of ingredients between 30 and 60%. So this is a boon for the product, to get a greater absorption of those ingredients so you can get them in the body so they can do their work. And in fact, there's some research that shows bioperin can enhance the absorption of curcuminoids by up to a factor of 20, which is huge. Some people say, turmeric curcuminoids aren't absorbed well, but if you can enhance that absorption by a factor of up to 20, you've done a major, major enhancement of the product. And one of the more recent things I found somewhat amusing, but somewhat reassuring too, is that black pepper extract is an Nrf2 activator. So once it gets in your body, it too can stimulate the production of the body's protective enzymes. And finally, the little note that I just wanted to throw in, I did find a research article that actually shows vitamin C is an Nrf2 activator as well, which kind of gives a newer dimension, a newer look at Nrf2 activators and antioxidants. So it actually made me very happy when I saw that. So that's the product and what's in the product. You see the product in front of me, and I'm very happy with this. It is now available on our website, and we have a discount. And so we would love you to engage, and if you would like to use Ultimate Protector Plus to help protect you and your family, as it's doing for me and my family. And finally, there's a lot of materials written on our websites about the new Ultimate Protector Plus product. And we have tons of blog articles that give you, if you're the kind of person like me, you want to know why this works and what's the research, that I have provided that, and because it makes me happy to do that and gives me a surety that I'm doing the best I can do for you.